You're listening to America's Diesel Podcast.
Intro.
I'm going to make a quick Instagram post. This will be part of the episode.
Oh, Instagram post for the episode.
Yeah, as you guys know, we do go live every Wednesday right on 5 p.m. Pacific time.
Yep.
Well, we got a little late start today. We're starting this on Wednesday at 4:40, so we're not going to be able to go live at 5. So we're about to leave a message for everybody on Instagram, so don't freak out. If I could use Instagram correctly, that'd be...
Did you get a new phone yet or what?
Oh, yeah.
It's titanium.
How old's your phone?
Old. I don't know, probably not as old as yours, Mr. Samsung.
You realize it's always like the iPhone guys that like give Android users like shit?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I was an Android user forever, and then I got so much shit that I was forced into getting an iPhone.
Pompous fucks. Like, that's all it is.
iPhone master race, thanks a lot.
Yeah, okay. Keep paying 10 grand for your base ass computer.
Like I pay that. Hey, we're going to be late.
Bitches.
I don't know what time we're starting. We're going to be late, though. We're filming an intro for an episode right now. We're going to be late.
Fucking weird.
God, that's creepy.
God.
Anybody do any digging on Bren yet?
Oh, no.
Bummer. Well, I guess while you're doing that, I'll do your intro.
Okay, thanks,
Yeah,
Dad.
go for it.
You're listening to America's Diesel Podcast.
Sick.
Caw.
Thanks.
Here, wait. Hey, buy F-bomb. Hey, now we cannot have the ad in the beginning. I just did it.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm still putting it in there.
We have the measuring thing now. It's been like 3 years since we put it back in there. We should probably redo that ad.
I actually like the bottles that came with a funnel, especially when you got a capless fuel tank and you got that little flapper door. Got to carry an extra screwdriver with you just to open the flapper door.
Interesting fact, I've never had a vehicle new enough to have.
It's fact.
I refuse. All right. Everybody seems to like episodes where we rank stuff.
Yeah. So I thought about this the other day. Why don't we... Wow, I just lost all my... Oh, now it just came back. Is that you? You're not like... Are you clicked in all the way?
You.
What are you doing over there?
Yeah.
Just touching it, man.
Don't touch it.
Don't. I'll slap the shit out of them hands.
Since I was so rudely interrupted.
Pardon moi, sir.
I thought of the other day, why don't we go through all the years of diesel trucks and we try to decide on which one the best is for that year. It's like the ultimate buyer's guide for years of trucks. And I thought we start with 94 because it's just fair that way.
Why?
Because anything pre-94 from anybody but Cummins sucks ass. It's terrible.
6.9, 7.3, and 6.2 and 6.5s were glorious engines.
Says nobody.
Sir.
Says absolute. Says one guy. Says one man.
And Gale Banks 45 years ago.
Yeah. So I they started with 94 is the fair route to go.
Okay.
Except for GM, obviously, it's not fair for them. But
I mean, they were there.
they were there.
They ain't gonna win.
Well, I'd be shocked if GM is even number one on any of these from years up. But 94, I think obviously is going to be in between a Cummins and a Power Stroke. Now,
Technically, the power should be 94 and a half, but we're not going to count that.
Jesus, Ben.
I think that's a fair point, though.
Yeah. So, this one's actually tough for me because I know how shitty older Dodges are, except for the engine.
Yeah, the beginning of the second gens, they were not good.
They were not good. The interiors were the suspension was okay, but the steering was front axle.
I mean, good for them to going to, like, at that point, a state of the art 4-link with a coil. Like, that's great. Good job.
Right. Kudos, but everything around it sucks. So,
yeah, like if you look at the way, like a second gen, this goes for all second gens, like the way the seat is bolted to the floor. it's like a chair. They just like screwed into it. Whereas to me, like when you look at like a OBS Power Stroke, like the interior is like, it looks like it was meant to be there. Then just buy a chair, like, it fits, fucking self tap it in.
And here's the thing too. I do like, because they had like captain's chairs back then. Did they not?
In the Rams?
No, in the Fords.
Yeah. Well, you could do. Well, they had benches, but yeah, they had the 40-40-20.
Yeah, I don't mind the interiors on those trucks. It's definitely an older truck, obviously. I mean, we're talking about older trucks anyways, but I almost prefer that interior setup over a Ram. Because again, Rams are just kind of like, eh.
Well, I mean, this could honestly be said for almost a lot of different years as far as Power Strokes versus Cummins goes. And it kind of goes back to basically diesel
We're
fans.
talking 94 right now.
I know, but diesel fans in general, like, if you know anything about diesels, they're like, okay, the Cummins holds a certain spot for a certain reason, and it's because it's an engine, and it's a really good engine platform. I get that. I'm a Power Stroke guy. I get that.
Yeah.
But don't you ever fucking tell me that the truck around that Cummins generally was kind of fucking shitty, whereas the other way around on Fords is like, yeah, we've had some questionable engines, but everything from like the flywheel bolts back and around it has been fantastic.
Right. So this is where I have a hard time because I want to try to be fair, and I want to try to be not just like Cummins, because ultimately, I mean, I do like the second gen body style, but I like a second gen sport with the sport grill, and I don't even think I don't even know if that was available in '94. But the grills on those early Rams, they were just kind of flat and just kind of like, I really like the second gens that have the sport bumpers, the sport grill. So it's all paint matched and it looks nice. I hated their mirrors. Their mirrors were ugly. It's just a simple little, chrome mirror. I don't even think they had the black mirrors back in the day. They just had those chrome ones. Or maybe they did. So that, I think that green one, is that green one a sport right there at cars.com? I don't know if that would be considered a sport in '94. I don't know if they did or not. We're talking trim levels here. Sorry guys, I don't know everything, but I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm having a hard time not picking a '94 Power Stroke for a preferred.
Here's the thing also, the '94 Power Stroke came with 215 crank.
Yeah.
The Cummins, granted, it was a P pump, okay, but it was
like one.
It was a 185, wasn't it?
I think if you got
the
a
215
manual,
pumps weren't until like the '96 manuals, right?
Yeah, I think So less power, but reliability sake and just being a Cummins P pump engine.
Yeah,
is
and
like,
you could literally turn
you would turn it up with a screwdriver, and make like another 100 horse. Like I mean. Man, I'm having a hard time. And obviously, like, there's going to be some redundant ones here, like, obviously, like 94, 95, 96. But we're going to go through it, we're going to go through them. Start at 94. Let's go.
My heart's with a Power Stroke, and honestly, it's because I see more OBS Power Strokes on the road than any other of that vintage. 94. And honestly, it's a 94, 98 thing.
I think I'm going to agree with you.
I think it becomes a battle again. From 96 when they had a 215 pump.
I'm having a hard time like letting go of that Cummins side of me and that 12 valve in that truck because I do absolutely love the engine more than any other engine out there. But as far as a truck as a whole, I think I'm going to agree with you.
Me too.
Good. Ben agrees with
now
himself.
I don't have to break the tie.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. Yeah, tiebreaker. Perfect.
Yeah. Okay, so 95, are we sticking the same way?
95.
They're essentially the same.
They're identical. I think we're going to have to stick with the same
We
thing.
should probably keep score. Get an Excel sheet up here.
Oh, there he goes.
Yep.
It honestly almost makes me want to throw up a little bit, but shout out to No Limit Fab for the cups.
Yeah. This episode...
It holds quite a bit.
This episode's cup sponsor is No Limit Fabrication. Mike Dillhay texted me. He's like, your cups, I make better ones. I was like, okay, bro. And honestly, they are. They're like insulated and they have
Artex.
lids. They're Artex. They're awesome. Well, yeah, thank you, Mike and the boys, for sending us these
Dirty Mike and the boys.
Dirty Mike and the boys.
Remember this?
Yeah. Yeah, thank you, Mike and the boys up there or down there.
Yeah.
You guys make some really cool shit, and I appreciate you guys' support and the parts you guys make.
I got a lid.
And also, for those of you wondering, they are starting to, because they they make a lot of 6.7 Power Stroke parts. They're starting to work their catalog back, and they're actually coming out with some Super Duty 7.3 parts that I'm very excited for.
Ooh.
Like an intercooler. Like full intercooler. I think intercooler charge pipe and hose and clamp setup, which should be pretty rad.
Right on.
Yeah.
All right, 94 Ford, 95 Ford, 96. Kind of the same. Yeah, Ram didn't really change anything. Other than
at least you would have got a 215.
You got a little bit more power, but it's going through an absolute shitty transmission. They're not that bad actually. I mean, but they're not great. Same front end, same shitty interior. Yeah, like I know what you're gonna say is Ford, but
I mean that's going to be
it has to be Ford. It has to be Ford. It has to be. I'm trying to be fair.
Okay, 95 Ford, 94 Ford, 95, 96, 97.
I think I'm gonna have to.
I'll tell you what. I'll give the 98s to the Rams.
Why? We haven't even talked about it yet.
I just want you to know that I'm willing to give something to the Rams.
Take it where you can
No,
get it.
I want you to be real and fair.
You haven't caught it yet, have you? Why don't you go ahead and buy yourself a 98 Power Stroke?
Oh well.
Rams,
Okay, some people hold on.
I know.
I add parts to the site, and some people will list a 98 Ford, but it's really an early 99.
Correct.
And so there are people out there that list a 98, and so when he said that, I'm thinking automatically 99. But yeah, you could essentially give 98 to Ram because
I'll go ahead and fill that in Ram 98.
because it's basically the only
And
contender.
that goes for the P pump and
You
the
notice we're
VP44.
not even talking about GM right now because
They're not even.
They're
They're not even relevant to
they're
number
not
one.
even relevant. They're not
They're
even
in there.
No, they're not even.
Let's go over the reasons why.
Yeah.
Body.
Shit. Engine.
Shit. Shitty front suspended front suspension. Shit. I'm pretty sure the rear ends were also dog shit too.
It's just like they're not
And
even.
what do they have for transmissions? They have like
I have no idea.
A fucking 408. No, they have 408s. What do they have?
A fucking Power Glide? I don't know what the
What
fuck
do
they
you
were
have in
using.
your Suburban as a turbo?
No, it was a not a 7 shit 700 R4. That's what they had. Shit.
Glorified van gas engine van transmission.
Yeah, just shit all around.
Just a big pile of dog shit.
Just
nothing
worthless.
about it.
There's nothing. There's not one good thing you could say. I mean, legitimately.
Fair.
Corey, can you say anything good?
Fair.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so 97. Are we giving it Ford?
We have to give it to Ford because
Okay.
really nothing has changed with Ram.
99. Okay, so
99. So Ram finally decided to switch interiors.
Mhm.
Okay. But then they went backwards in time and put the shittiest injection pump that's probably ever it'd be a good argument to say that a VP44 is worse than a CP4. Even though CP4 has, I mean, granted,
Well, CP4 has been around for 10 years now.
right.
Over 10 years, 12 years.
So it's had a longer run. The VP44 is just such a fragile little fucking dandelion of a pump. Like you blow on it and there's a cavitation air pocket done. $1,800. There you go.
Well,
You can make power with them, but they're kind of annoying.
Well, they were designed for agriculture. That's why.
Right. It was a Band-Aid.
They're designed to fit. They're designed to go, what RPM do you want to run at? 1,800 for how long? I don't know. 6,000 hours at a time. Okay, here. Built your VP44 pump.
Yeah.
There you go. That's it. It's not meant for.
Yeah, they're just
like for a boat engine. Great.
Yeah.
Just sit there. Yeah. Just chug away.
yeah, and again, everything surrounding that pump, great engine.
Mhm.
Nothing wrong with that. Transmissions, shit. Dashes were made from porcelain. I don't know what kind of material.
Too much crap for porcelain.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of material what kind of plastic they ended up getting, but it was the absolute worst plastic ever made for anything.
Imagine someone took you ever see those old the Japanese videos of who can use a hand plane and playing the thinnest piece of wood
Yeah.
at length. Imagine that, but of balsa wood
Yeah.
and maybe like 2 or 3 layers
Yeah. Like
with like dollar store glue.
yeah. They were terrible. Terrible dashes. We all know that. However, clean, like if you ever see like a night, like one clean that's not like I put one of those. We have those dash covers on, like I think it's what is it, AccuTrim. So my truck, I had the gray interior, I had black leather seats, and then I did that AccuTrim dash cover, but I left it black, so my dash was like two-tone, and it actually looked pretty freaking good. And it wasn't bad. Mine was a manual. The interiors are getting better. I do like I like the leather seats better than the cloth. They seem to have more more padding in them. But again, the as far as dash is concerned, like a shitty dash can make your nice interior look obviously like absolute shit. Like it doesn't even matter how nice your seats are if your dash is all fuckered up and have holes in it. Like it's not nice.
Well, you don't stare at the seats.
Right. You're staring at the dash. Right. So, and well, 99, we had
There's a 7.3 Huey truck.
We had a body style change.
Was that 250 horse?
Yeah. And God.
But I mean, as far as like the truck,
yeah,
on the Super Duty 7.3,
like that is a rock solid. It is iconic, and
it's starting to become almost more iconic than like.
Let's go through the two. The like again, front end absolute shit. The front axle shit. They did have good rear axles. You could get a Dana 80 in some trucks. You could, and then most of them had Dana 70s, so that's good. Good suspension design.
Again, 4-link with a coil. That's
4-link with a coil. Yep.
Single shear track bar. Fucking dumb.
It's terrible. It's terrible.
Y-style steering. Good call.
Yeah. I think we have to go fucking. And here's the thing too. The amount of Super Duties on the road that are like 300,000 miles plus and
still working.
It's still working, and you have a guy be like, "Yeah, I never replaced the injectors."
Yeah.
It's like how? Yeah, you could say the same about a VP44 truck. I mean, those injectors they were basically like a pressure like a poppet style injector.
Yeah, but they're on their 4th pump.
But they're on their 4th pump. They're on their 4th pump. So, to be fair, we have to go with Ford. Ford is sweeping it right now.
Dude, a leaf sprung front end with a track bar that's not needed. I've said it before and I'll say it again. If you're looking for an absolute brute of a truck, like you're planning on farm rig or something like that, like a trail rig, not necessarily like off-roading, but like just something that you can absolutely beat the living shit out of. And it's not going to ride good, okay?
No.
There's a lot you can do to try and make a leaf sprung Ford ride good, and it'll ride better than it did before, but it doesn't ride good, okay? My Excursion does not ride nice.
Right.
It's good enough, but I also know that I could literally hit a stump.
Yeah.
And it'll still probably track straight down the freeway.
Right.
Like it's completely overbuilt. Yeah. It's way more brutal than it needs to be.
Right.
Whereas like you hit a speed bump wrong with a Ram and it seems to never track
Death
right
wobbles
again.
Yeah.
Like every joint on the front end of a Ford, every leaf sprung bushing, every joint, every bolt
could be wore out.
And you're still like the driving on the freeway, you're still just kind of like, a little bit of this.
Yeah.
You know, maybe you got to hold it in one spot.
Yeah.
Like, but it's not ever like wandering all over the place.
Right.
So,
yeah,
again, I said it again. If you want a truck you can neglect the fuck out of,
get your Super Duty
9903 7.3 Super Duty.
So we can go up to 02, I think, with that, because really, again, nothing really changed with Ram. They didn't learn any lessons. Well, I guess they did, because they did end up changing in 2003.
In 2003, yeah.
So we can go up to 02. Ford it is. This hurts me, guys. I know, but it's just we're just being honest. We're just being honest.
The next run of trucks is going to make a big difference.
Maybe
5 non-common rail, dude.
Right, but still.
Oh wait, GM entered the chat in 2001.
Yeah,
still don't give a
fuck. Seriously, I didn't even think of them.
You are not relevant until
like we were talking about
2006,
the best truck. GM is just like. I'm here. We're like, who the fuck is that guy?
If I hadn't have said that, I guarantee we would have made it all the way to 2017. Because it's like, oh man, you remember the L5P? Oh shit, we forgot the last 16 years.
GM still IFS. The injector lines would wipe out the entire fuel system because they would corrode. They at least they had the wherewithal to put a CP3 on it and do high pressure common rail injection and an Allison. But actually, I mean, it's just as far as a truck that's going to last. I mean, I don't know. Tell us, Ben, about the LB7 that's in the shop right now.
I don't want to talk about it.
Okay.
LB7K is being a bit of a bitch right now. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Yeah.
Okay,
2003 Ram.
I'm sorry,
new body style.
Yeah, and also, I'm sorry, Ford, but the truck around the 6.0, again, great. But the 6.0, you're not going to hold a candle to a 5.9 combo.
You're not going to hold a candle to it, even though suspension's good. Steering, they made some changes. Went to AAM axles. So you got the 9.25 in the front, and you got the 11.5 in the back. Yep. Good axles. Transmission, 48 REs. They're, if you don't touch the engine,
they're good enough.
They're good enough. But once you start adding power, obviously, you start running into issues. But I think we're kind of comparing. We need to just compare stock to stock here. So we've got, again, common rail. Great. Probably arguably one of the best diesel engines to ever go into a pickup truck.
It's the best.
Yeah.
5.9 common rail is the best engine to ever go into a pickup engine.
It's just a Ford guy saying that.
I will fucking fight you.
Ford just, like, okay. Again, we're trying to be fair. Look at the run Ford had from 94. And they're like, you know what? We're going to fuck this up.
So far, we're in 2003, so yeah, we're like... So far, it's 8-1 Ford.
Yeah.
Okay, so I just want to put that there.
So even though Ram had its issues with still steering, everything else I think would negate. Here's the thing too. I absolutely hate the early. This is so petty and stupid. I hate the fucking steering wheels in the early Rams. They are so freaking ugly. I don't even know what the hell they were thinking. I don't know who designed that, but it looks like absolute shit. Like they're terrible. I hate those steering wheels.
For like the 5 minutes that I was looking at common rails, I found a bunch of 03s, and I actually see a picture
if I see that steering wheel, I'm out.
Can't do it.
That just because of the steering wheel. Yeah, terrible. They did fix the dashes though. The dashes don't crack if you look at them wrong. Seat wise,
actually, they'll crack. They just won't shatter.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Seat wise, decent. Still feels like. It's not like a King Ranch, Ford, like not even close, but they work.
Yeah.
They're not bad. I mean, they had a cool little two-tone going on with the leather, which was nice. But
a very updated dash compared to a second gen.
Very updated dash. Yeah.
I love the white face gauges.
White face gauges. Yep.
Love it.
Yep. Body style change. That's, I would say probably one of the most popular body styles that Ram has ever put out. I think Ram takes the cake in 03.
I agree. Yeah, I don't.
And I think they would take the cake all the way up to 06. And then we could talk, or 05, and we can talk about GMs finally.
The LLYs get to come in the conversation?
No.
So you're talking about LBZs then?
Yeah.
So 06, yeah, okay.
That's what I'm saying. 06 could come in the...
Okay, so yeah, we got Ford, Ram, Ford. Sorry. Ford, Ram, Ford, Ram. GM, you're now allowed to come back in the room.
Yeah. GM enters a chat. 06.
LBZ.
So we've got Allison transmission. We've got a good looking truck. Probably, arguably one of the best looking.
If you're a GMC.
Okay.
No cat eyes. No cat eyes. Can't do it.
But a very good looking truck.
Yes.
Overall.
Yeah.
Still have IFS. 11.5-inch rear, 9.25 front, but an IFS 9.25 front.
Yeah.
So drivetrain wise.
Still kind of gay.
It's still gay, but It's good. It's a good, solid.
It's like a gay dude who still likes guns. You know, it's like you still hang out, and
like
watch
you still-
football,
yeah.
and shoot with him.
Yeah, yeah.
You don't want to turn your back on him. Canceled.
If it hasn't happened yet, that is like on a scale from fucked up. That is like a 7. We've went to like 12. That's not even a 7. That's like a 4. But
Fucking proud of myself on that. That was good.
Engine wise, LBZ,
Great engine.
great engine. I mean, still CP3, common rail. Don't have this shitty injector. Quit touching shit, will ya?
Damn, I'm sorry. Is it just the headphones or is it recording that way?
Well, I'll find out in post.
Yeah, okay. For you guys that don't know, I seem to be I touch random things and all of a sudden everything cuts out.
Just stop
I'm
doing
sorry.
things.
All right.
So engine wise, great engine. They fixed their issues they have with injector lines, and
Well, they did that with the LOY.
I understood, but
Just
they weren't in the conversation
It's true.
because they had other issues.
They tend to brick PCMs and the LBZs. For some reason, GM was like, "Hey, man, you guys realize we could like literally just like press a button and make more power? Why don't we do that? Okay, Cousin 6, all new Duramax.
Yeah.
What did we do? We tuned it better.
Yeah.
And we got a 6-speed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Welcome.
So I think they're definitely a contender. They don't, they, as far as front end issues go, the tie rods are extremely small. It's not necessarily a truck I would, take off road.
No.
Ram, they went from 305 horsepower to 325 horsepower, but still shitty front end. Same transmission. Interior wise, definitely they got better with their interior. Like as far as adding, having an option for like instead of the flip up seat in the middle, you can get a full center console, nice wood grain,
Factory Bose stereo.
mega cab, baby. Like, come on, mega cab enters the chat.
Oh, you're talking about the
We're 06.
yeah, sure.
So
CAN bus.
CAN bus, better operating system, better injectors.
Technically G56 now too. Well, it would have been 05, but G56 for sure.
Yeah.
05
Well,
and a half.
not necessarily better injectors, still same style injectors, but just slightly different. And that's actually arguable because some people with like high horsepower Cummins engines will actually refer to the spray pattern of a 503 injector
305
over.
horse,
So
yeah.
injectors, we'll just disregard that part. But
Sorry, little known fact: most people, as far as like they're getting really high mileage, like actual miles per gallon on third gens, it's the 0304 trucks. That's why Josh specifically was trying to find the 0304, keep it stock, mild tune.
Yeah.
And for some reason, those 0304s before they went to the 04.5 with a different spray angle, they're great for higher horsepower and they're great for mileage.
Yeah. So, and then Ford still just chugging along with that 6-liter. Just,
I want you to, I'm going to make
but suspension.
that's going to be my argument for 07.
Okay.
I have an argument for 07.
Okay. So 06, where are we at?
06,
Because I think it comes between a GM and a
I agree. It's GM or Ram.
Ram, and that's a
Sorry, hold on. It's a Sierra or a Ram.
Okay.
It's
GMC
not a Silverado. It's
or-
a GMC. It's a Sierra or a Ram.
Okay, Corey, what do you think?
Ram.
Really? Why? Putting you on the spot.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just going off body style, if I'm being completely honest.
Here's
I
something that
prefer
could be
over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's something that could be factored into ease of working on, too.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, you have a GM truck, you get AGR, and you still are no emissions.
Yeah.
06 Ram.
Okay, we have to
100%
do
Ram.
We have to do Ram.
10 times out of 10. 07, hear me out. 6-liter. Okay, hear me out.
I'm gonna hear you out.
07, they didn't figure out everything, because honestly, they didn't figure out everything with the 6.0s until like 2010, 11, 12, when I got like people started realizing how shitty 6.4s were. We need to go back.
Yeah.
But 07, so last year's 6.0, most of the issues figured out. The interiors on the 07s you can get some really nice trim packages.
Oh yeah.
Radius arm front end suspension, obviously starting in 05, but they're literally using the same fucking suspension now. Like if you buy coils for your truck, they're 05 plus.
Yeah.
Okay, so they've been using the same coil system and everything for a long time. And they did that before anybody else did too, because Ram ended up doing that in 2015, 14, no, 13, 12, 13, depending on what truck you have. And yeah, I think with the most of the engine stuff getting done better with the addition of 5R110, beautiful interior, really high trim package stuff.
Yeah.
Axles, radius arm. I think a late model 6.0 might take that.
I know, but you're leaving out still a big factor in that it's still a 6.0.
I know.
Here's the thing too. Here's the thing
truck
too.
around the Ram.
I know, but here's the thing. Here's the thing too with the Ram.
Uh-huh.
Still the only engine not to have any emissions on it.
I agree.
Just like I totally forgot in the last conversation we just had, but it is the only engine that has zero emission control devices.
Is the everything, take the engine out of the equation, is the 6.0 that much worse? I know I just said take the engine out of the equation. Now. I'm fucking stupid, but, but like take the engine out of the equation.
Yeah, take the engine out, but let's talk about the engine.
Yeah. So, but now is the 07 truck minus the engine that much better than the 07 Ram minus the engine?
I'm going to have to agree with you a little bit there because, yeah, there's a lot of pluses to that Ford truck.
And this is what I'm trying. It's kind of an aggregate score here because let's say so you take the engine out of the equation, truck versus truck, engine out of the equation. Let's say the 07 6.0 is a here's 8 out of 10.
Yeah, here's a good analogy. Uh-huh. If you were to hop into this truck with no engine and get pushed down a hill, which one would you rather be in?
I guess.
Would you rather be comfortable when you died? Or
I was going to say forward, but I guess, yeah.
Or would you? Because when I think of that, I'm like, okay, if I'm in a Ram going down a hill with no engine, just coasting it, like I feel like at some point that steering is going to just explode, and I'm going to be jarred off to one side, and then I'm going to be in a continuous roll. And the way that A pillar comes close to your head, like my head's getting smashed in, right?
Yeah.
Well, the Ford might actually hold up,
and the stereo would work the whole time. It's got a nice stereo in it.
The stereo would work
the
whole time.
It tracks straight the whole way,
and the seat is a little bit more comfortable.
Yeah.
So as you're dying, you're at least dying in a little bit of comfort.
Yeah.
GM, I think, the GM though, if you want to really die in comfort,
a fucking cat eye.
No.
GM as both tie rods break, it actually might stop you. It might save you because the tires would go like this and it would like just slow to a stop.
Maybe.
Or it might tragically just.
No, it would just rip them off. The ball joints would fail. It rip you out. Yeah, no, it ain't gonna happen.
You get a torsion bar through your freaking dome piece.
I think a Ford takes it, man. I think a Ford takes it. And I want you to know that
I have a hard time with it just because it still is a 6.0.
I know.
And they still have issues. Ford really didn't fix much of shit. Like they still have issues. So
you got to remember the 6.0s were still the best selling truck of all of those years.
They fooled a lot of people.
From 03 to 07 apparently.
Yeah, good markeing.
Ironically,
Corey, where are you going with this?
The exact same run the 5.9 Common Rail had. Ooh.
Yeah, but it was a 5.9 Common Rail, not some Huey injection fucking V8 that had fucking EGR and stretched head bolts from the factory and fucking a VGT turbo. Like, fuck, you don't need that shit.
Corey?
Dodge.
Fuck. Ram it is.
I'm going to do Ram. I got to.
All right.
Especially like a 07 Mega Cab, 5.9 Common Rail.
Yeah.
Okay. 08, 9, 10. Ford has left the chat.
Ford.
That's fair.
Sorry.
Yeah, Ford.
There's a lot of things that a 6.4, everything besides the truck can make up, but you can't make up. Like, sorry, man.
Okay, this is good because now we've got GM that changed to arguably one of the ugliest body styles,
which I happen to like,
that they have ever done. And
I like LMMs.
Ram
I like LMMs.
Kept the body style.
Oh, fuck yeah.
But we've got the 6.7 and 68 RFE or a G56. You got to hand it to Ram, still pushing out those manual transmissions back in the day. You get a manual 6.4.
Yeah, few and far
but
between.
Still doesn't change anything.
And you can't. You couldn't get a GM manual. They stopped out the LBZ.
Yeah. So
LOY or LBZ?
LBZ.
Yeah.
So again, so we've got GM that's got still the 6.6 liter Duramax, great engine, still CP3 powered. We've got an Allison transmission, basically same drivetrain.
Garrett VGT turbo, literally the same turbo from 06 up.
Yeah, but a good turbo though. They don't typically fail. And then we've got Cummins that decided to go with HE 351 VE, absolute junk.
Dog shit.
The DPF system, absolute junk. EGR system, junk. Great engine though. The engine itself, good. The 6.7 is a great platform. Steering wise, still the same as the 07, still shit, but it's still a solid axle truck. So we have solid axle truck here versus IFS. And as much as I hate the body style of the GM, I do feel those early GMs were overall, I don't want to say a better truck, I just want to say a hardier truck. As far as how their emission system worked, they definitely didn't have the problems with turbos that the early 6.7s had. I mean, I can't even tell you how many of those turbos I've replaced. And I only worked at a dealer for like a year and a half.
So let's go some categories real quick here. So we'll call it 08 Ram and GM emission systems. They both sucked, but
which is less suck
GM turbos. GM wins that 10 times.
100%.
Transmission early 68 versus Allison. GM wins every time.
Yeah.
Both had CP3s. They're okay there. Drivetrain wise, suspension wise goes, I would rather have a Ram with a 4-link front
and a straight axle.
Yeah, so they win that one.
Yeah.
Interior goes, even a well trim packaged 08 Ram, you're not going to hold any light to an LBZ or a LTZ or Denali.
Oh no! Although they did feel like a car when
they had some car features in there,
but there's still it doesn't take away from the fact that they're a comfortable interior.
Super comfortable, very nice stereos.
Yeah. It doesn't. But
factory Bose touchscreen, hell yeah, dude.
Oh yeah. So, as much as this pains me,
is GM gonna get one?
GM is actually going to get one with the LMM.
I did not anticipate this.
Sparkly Bridges has entered the chat.
Yeah, if you actually think about it, it just makes the most sense.
It does.
Because if you actually, obviously Cummins fanboy, I can make an argument for Cummins being the best all the way through every year. But again, we're trying to be fair here, and I think that's a fair assessment of those trucks, because nobody will argue that the first generation of emissions controlled Cummins was absolute dog shit.
Well, I think one of the reasons that the emission systems was better on the LMMs was at that point it was the longest running engine platform.
Yeah.
Ford had changed, Ram had changed. At least the guys at GM, they already kind of knew what they were working with. They basically took an LOY LBZ and were like, okay, we've got to slap emissions on here.
Yeah.
And they could make it work. Everybody else,
and they were already working with EGR too.
Yeah. So they were a little bit ahead of the ball.
Yeah.
So 08 Sparkly Bridges, GM. 09. Are we thinking kind of the same argument?
I think the same argument holds.
Yeah, I agree. 10, 4th gen. Ford is still out of the chat. Just want you guys to know that.
Ford is still out of the chat.
They're still cracking number one piston.
Basically, basically the only change that happened was body style in Rams. Well, that didn't happen until no, that was 10.
10.
Yeah. So I don't know why I was thinking 11. Maybe I was thinking cabin chassis stuff, but yeah, that's basically the only change. Did the interiors get better? Yes. But still not all the way there.
My argument for not Dodge, the onion of deception.
Well, because they just changed the outside and kept everything else the same.
But it was
Ben knows. Yeah.
It was 09.
Oh, that was 09? Okay.
Yeah.
09 was the all ball year.
Okay.
09 was a 3rd gen, but it had a 4th gen hybrid axle.
Right. Okay.
As far as ball joints and free spin kit goes.
Oh, yeah.
And brakes. Fuck that.
Yeah.
Oh,
For
yeah,
some
forgot
reason,
that.
I was thinking that
Yeah,
was
they did
10,
with bigger
but-
brakes, different.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But still, again, they changed to the what they call the 8.5 steering from in 08, but it was still shit. like I remember a trip we went on and in Bride's 2011 Ram, and we literally had a tie rod just come apart and fall in the parking lot before we even left. Like we were literally had the trailer with a race truck on the back. We were loaded up, ready to go, and then all of a sudden, no steering. Then we look under there, and it literally just fell off. Fell off. Sorry. Again, I'm an idiot.
So my argument here for 4th gen is, while they, in my opinion, as far as interiors, Ram didn't really figure it out until like the 13-14 era.
Yes.
The configuration of the cab. They finally went away from that super, I mean, it still kind of has that, but
Laid
like
back,
the 3rd gen has that super long laid back windshield.
Yeah.
I like the look of the 3rd gen, don't get me wrong, but that is one thing that always pissed me off. And being a Ford guy, we all had pretty vertical windshields compared to everybody else. So I do like the configuration. Like a 4th gen mega cab, I love that configuration.
I honestly had a hard time liking those trucks when they first came out. I did think they were pretty ugly.
I wasn't enough into the scene to care at that point.
Yeah, I didn't like how the grill looked like it was like it looked like it had an overbite,
It did, yeah.
which I wasn't a fan of. Are there some clean ones out there? Yes, there's some good looking ones, but it took me a while to come around on those. I think we're still gonna have to give it to GM just because, again, the only thing that changed was the body style, and it's not my favorite.
Okay.
And
I'm with you on that.
Interior wise, like a 10.
Yeah.
GM is still pretty freaking luxury.
Again, Ram had not figured it out yet.
They didn't figure it out. They were trying though.
They did. They did try it a little harder.
Okay.
11. This is where things get spicy again.
This
We
is
got
where things
6-7 fucking power stroke.
And this is where GM
LMLs.
changed body styles, and this is arguably one of my favorite body styles that GM has ever came out with.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and say Ram's out of the chat on 11.
They're out of the chat. They're out of the chat. This is Ford's coming in. Ford has this brand new engine that they are producing. We've got a turbo that's got 2 wheels back to back on it. The dual compressor wheel. Although didn't they have like plastic bearings or something? Ceramic bearings.
That might be its fault.
That
might
would
be its fault.
But power wise,
power and transmission wise,
transmission,
the 640 is the only thing that would give an Allison a run for its money.
100%.
And it shifts the way you want it to. And Allison is like, you shift the way I want you to.
Yeah.
Like, I'm the captain now. A 640, you can make it fucking work.
Yeah. But we also have another issue with GM.
Yep.
CB4.
Right.
But Ford is CB4 too.
Yes. That is true. That's a tough one. That's a tough one because I really like the LMLs, like as far as body style wise goes. Like, but I also do like the 6.7 Power Stroke when they came out. Like that's a good truck.
Did LMLs have DEF when they first came out?
Ooh,
because Fords had DEF.
I think
the
they
6.7s always had DEF.
I think they did.
Because Rams didn't have DEF till what was that 13, 14, something like that?
Yes. Yeah. I think 14.
I haven't been on the phones in a while.
I know. I know the cab chassis had DEF before
they did, yeah.
The regular pickups, and I think that change happened in I want to say 13.
Was it the change to the radius arms that coincided with
yes, it was.
Because I remember asking people to look underneath their truck. Do you have control arms or radius arms?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is a GM and Ford battle here.
Yeah, so 2011, man.
Okay, so let's go through the problems though. Okay, so we have Ford turbo. They had issues.
I would say that the turbo on that truck from 11 to 14 for the Fords, that was on par with an HE351 VE. Like they failed. Yeah. They fucking failed.
Same injection pump, so we'll nix that out.
Yeah.
Body wise, I do like me an LML. Like they're a good looking truck.
A well trimmed LML compared to a well trimmed Ford of that generation. Man, it's hard.
It's a good looking truck. It is a good looking truck.
Okay, suspension
again. Ford. Yeah, Ford takes the cake on that. IFS. Nobody likes that except for gay men apparently. So that's a tough one. That is a real tough one. I do love the 6.7 Power Stroke engine. That is a great engine.
That's fantastic.
They had a reverse head design.
Yeah.
So the exhaust was in the center. It was kind of a revolutionary design. And if you think about it, at this point, they're the only manufacturer that's manufacturing their own engines.
It's true.
So you have to kind of hand it to Ford with that.
Here's the thing, though, man. I think, I can't believe I'm going to say this, but then GMs didn't have a lift pump. Fords did.
Fords, you could also get the disaster kit.
So, well, here's the thing, though. Even though the LMLs had a CP4, do you ever remember hearing?
We can't talk about the CP4 though because it cancels each other out. I know, but as far as failures, yeah,
I know, but for some reason the LMLs just didn't have that same failure rate.
Yeah,
and I may be talking out of spec here because I probably should know more about Duramaxes, but I will acknowledge of the big three. That's the one I know least about. But I feel like the Duramaxes, when they went to the CP4, like they routed the lines they were supposed to go, and Ford didn't.
Yeah.
And I feel like they both had def. Man, it's gonna be crazy. I'm gonna go GM.
I'm kind of leaning that way, and I'll tell you why, and it's for the stupidest reason. I hated Ford's fucking tailgate with that fucking step in it.
Oh, I love the step. I made fun of my friends. AJ, if you're listening, I specifically remember a day we were getting ready to just have an absolute fucking rager in Folsom, and we went to the Safeway to pick up like beer and ice, obviously, and he had a very well trimmed 6.4, which actually is now a current local Spokane truck. And he bought this thing almost new. It had maybe like 20,000 miles on it. Deleted, like just basics. It fucking ripped. It was, I don't know if it's a platinum or not, but it was like sunroof leather, heated seats, beautiful fucking truck. Yeah. And when he had it, it was just like leveled on like a big 35. I think he even had like aluminum wheels or chrome wheels on it. It was a really good looking truck.
Yeah.
And he's not a truck guy. He doesn't tow shit, but he had a big ass hitch on it. Like he's that guy.
Yeah.
And I remember we went to go pick up ice, and we grabbed like 3 30-pound bags of ice because we had a bunch of people coming over. And he opened the tailgate. I grabbed a bag of ice and I just threw it in the back. And first off, he was like, "Whoa, don't scratch my bed." And I looked at him. And I looked at him, and I think I cussed him out. I was like, "What the fuck is wrong with this? It's a truck." Yeah. And had a plastic bed liner.
Ben's just throwing shit in the back of the truck. Bricks, ice.
It had a plastic bed liner. And then he was like, and it's lifted, so obviously this thing is like the tailgate's basically like chest height.
Yeah, your titties, yeah.
And so he whips out the step, and I again probably cussed him out for it. And I think it was later on that weekend I went to go get stuff out of the truck, and no one was watching. Yeah. I went outside to get everyone still in the pull in the back, and I did the tailgate. I pulled the step with the hand. I was like, "This is great. This is so great." I'm like teetering on a blackout, but I'm like my flip flops on. Got the board shorts, no underwear hanging off my ass. Like cigarette in my mouth, trying to get in the back of the truck to grab more shit. And it's like, this step just saved my life. The step's okay, AJ.
What are you thinking, Corey? Ford or GM? I mean, you got a GM, so you're of that generation.
I think this might shock you.
You're gonna go Ford?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because the CP4 is null and void because you can get the disaster prevention kit.
I know, but we're talking stock truck to stock truck though. No parts added.
Oh, stock to stock.
Yeah.
GM. Yeah. Hands down.
Well, it doesn't matter what I say
GM
at this point. Yeah. So yeah, GM it is.
2012.
I mean, nothing really changed.
GM it is.
Wow.
GM's taken more than I thought they would.
They had some ups. They also had some downs. We'll get there.
Start off real weak.
Yeah.
Real weak. Very fair.
Okay. 13. Nothing really
13,
changed.
I mean,
I don't know for some reason why I hate a 13 Ram the most. Maybe just because it's 13.
I think you hate it because when we were selling parts for 13s, no one knew if they had radius arms or coils.
Maybe that's why. Yeah.
Or radius arms or a 4-link.
Yeah. Because a 13 3500. No. Do I have it backwards?
The 35s changed first. They went to...
Yeah, so 13 3500 had radius arms.
And leaf springs in the back.
And leaf springs in the back, where a 13 2500 still had the old style suspension.
Right. Yeah.
And then
But
14.
then 14, they had coils in the back.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah. So
I think the other thing too about what was it around that generation? What was I just thinking of? So when they did change to that radius arm, they changed intercoolers.
should we end this podcast at 13 and then go on for?
I mean, we got another 10 years to go.
I think we should. Well,
Yeah.
So 13 will be our last year because we're already almost an hour.
We're almost at an hour, yeah. And I think it's gonna get a little spicy.
That's why I wanted. Yeah.
All right. Hey, tune in for the next one for here the next 10 years. Appreciate you guys watching, listening. I'm gonna need some pistachios.
Are we deciding 13 or that we're starting with 13?
Let's start with 23. We'll start with 13.
Perfect. Yeah. Bye. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure to subscribe and check us out at dieselpowerproducts.com.